We're live. Good morning from America's newest booze leader on television. I'm your host, Guided Commercial Airline, Geico. Remember to act poor to get rich, increasing efficiency, increasing savings, and maintaining a certain lifestyle is the fastest way to build wealth. And PSA from all televis. GoFundMe.com/all televis. Pay for your answers. Don't steal. Kleptomania. Yeah, kleptos. Today's show is CD Mayor Credit Card. X3.60 today on the E network. I believe that's what it is, correct? Yeah, it's E, the network with, all your favorite shows, that's on E. But for your gas tank, put it on full. Yeah, for your gas tank, put it on full. We're on E, all two. What's on E today? Today on E, channel 60. Today is City Credit Card. City Credit Card Mayor X360. What's on today? Oh, I'm sorry. It's not E. It's Telemundo. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. It's Telemundo. Today on Telemundo, we have, what do we have here? We have SOS, Shava, Mikasha, and Siempre Ninos. And we have, oh wait, hold on. We have Siempre Ninos and the Last Patrol. Tonight on Telemundo, Siempre Ninos and Last Patrol. The Time Warner Cable. Las Verdades. Yeah, Las Verdades. Only on Telemundo, Channel 60, Time Warner Cable, Cuatro Cliente, Preferencia. Today's show was brought to you by and support by new residents, Verizon. Now with Unlimited. Verizon Unlimited. Switch now and get the best smartphones for free. Enjoy iPhone 7 for $0 down when you trade in your phone and sign up for Verizon Unlimited. It's not just Unlimited, it's Verizon Unlimited, the network it deserves, and so do you. $45 a line or $80 for one line. Only on Verizon MerriweatherA.Law. Cuatro Cliente Preferencia, Sprint Total Equipment Protection, Expert Support, Peace of Mind, only $12 a night. In sleep, narcolepsy, or $12 a month. Get total equipment protection for your device. File claim or learn more at protection.sprint.com. Total protection for your photos and videos. It's just a hardware that you lose in sleep narcolepsy. Expert support, instant access to your personal US-based tech support. One call solves it all. Even the hardest problems resolved 99% of the time. From total equipment protection from Sprint and Assurian. MerriweatherA.Law. What is narcolepsy? Narcolepsy is a chronic neurological order caused by brain's inability to regulate its stable sleep-wake cycle. People who suffer this from narcolepsy have a chip installed S105. Oh, from the American Sleep Association and UCLA. Cuatro Cliente Preferencia AT&T. It's there when you need it. The new Philips Lifetime. At home or on the go, Philips Lifetime Medical Alert Services provide peace of mind with you 24/7 fast access to help. AT&T wireless and cell phones connections that count. Check out our latest phones, devices, and accessories at AT&T MerriweatherA.Law.com. Cuatro Cliente Preferencia. T-Mobile. Hey, Los Angeles, 2 unlimited lines, $100 all in. Get 2 lines of unlimited data for $100 with auto pay. Pay yourself. No saran wrap taxes and fees included. Plus, activate HD video streaming and 10 gig of high-speed mobile hotspot data at no extra charge. Add a line. T-Mobile signal in your area. 4G LTE. All unlimited, all in. $50 a line. Only from T-Mobile. MerriweatherA.Law. Anthony Russo. The treasurer. Bro, who made it? Someone named Anthony. ¿Cuánto claim de preferencia? Eddie Bauer, President's Day sale, 40% off everything. Shop women, shop men's at editbauer.com. And free shipping on all orders $99 or more. Featuring our tree line double cloth shirts. Only from Edit Bauer and an extra 50% off clearance. Use code EXCURSION at editbauer.com. Remember to donate to all televists if you want answers. Very important. To follow this presentation, this is our website, GoFundMe.com/all televists. Click the donate now link. Say, hey, I have a question. Enter your Amanda Matar and William Matar. Answer question, $653. Put in your first name, last name, email address, or use your Facebook login, country, zip code. Leave a comment. Say, hey, we have a question. Pay for your questions by clicking continue. And that'll take you to the next screen. Enter your payment information. That's GoFundMe.com/all televists/donate to pay for your questions. Or do it on Facebook. Hit the money link and send funds immediately from Facebook. Who doesn't have Facebook? Let's get to our show. They're waiting for us. Nesquik. Where's Nesquik? Nesquik. Enjoy 2% milk with flavor that you always wanted. Available in raw berry, banana, double chocolates. Delicious. Nutritiously delicious. Enhanced with fortified vitamins. Nesquik. You need it. Yeah, they do. They need extra flavor. They just need it. Let's just do a little bit of time and then a little bit of this, a little bit of that.
Lecture series, and it reminded me of a story of Oliver Wendell Holmes.
Hello, Tom. How are you?
Jr., who boarded a train once, and when the ticket taker came to
Our
collect
show's
his ticket,
provided by
he searched
American
his
Access
pockets, and he
Airlines.
couldn't find it, and he couldn't find it, and finally the guy said, "Don't worry, Justice Holmes.
More deals, more miles. American Access.
The question is not who
I'm
am
Geico. Grammatic.
The question is,
Guided commercial.
where am I going?"
We're going off course. Why? Dr. G, how are you?
Improve the health of as many people
Google,
as rapidly
Dr.
as possible.
G.
And if you look at the U.S. and the world over the past 100 years,
Dr. G.
public health has accounted for most of the health
Absolutely.
progress. And if you think about what the future might bring,
Good
it is
Lord.
likely, if it plays its cards right, to account for most of our health progress in the years to come. In the U.S.,
I'll be going off course here.
Century, by one estimate, the life expectancy increase of 30 years
Good Lord.
was attributable in the case of 25 of those 30
Why?
years to public health. In global
Lots of public health.
we've seen tremendous improvement with a doubling of life expectancy
Absolutely.
in the 20th century, with notable exceptions
Food
for HIV
TV,
in
Food
Africa,
Network.
an epidemic which, like the 1918-1919 influenza pandemic, was large enough to actually move the mortality
Move the
curve for its entire
mortality.
population. But with that devastating exception,
Devastating.
the
Barefoot
life
Contessa, where is
expectancy
she?
globally has doubled. Life
Hold on,
expectancy in
Barefoot.
the U.S. has increased steadily. If you look at between
If you look,
1980 and
1980
2000, in the United States,
in the United States.
cardiovascular disease deaths were cut in half.
Absolutely.
And if you look at the cause of that halving of cardiovascular death, about half of that,
Absolutely.
by the way, in the New England Journal of Medicine, 2007, by a CDC author, about half of that
Half
was
of that.
caused by community-wide improvements in health status, and another half by clinical interventions.
Absolutely.
Looking back at the 124 previous
Back to
lectures
basics
in
with
this
Barefoot
series,
Contessa.
I'm,
That's absolutely what we're
stunned
looking at.
really by the breadth and depth of the article of the issues covered.
Absolutely.
In public health,
In public
we
health.
often try to boil the most complicated questions down to a 2x2
Oh, we can
table.
guess. Cooking for
In
Jeffrey.
the case of an outbreak investigation, that's ill, not ill, exposed,
We're
not
watching
exposed.
Barefoot.
But there is another way of
There's another
having
way.
a 2x2 table, and that would be to think about
To think about
communicable and non-communicable diseases, and
non-communicable.
domestic
Reverse.
and global issues. And for each of these four
Allen
quadrants,
Hospital.
there are critical issues that public health
I'm
and
Allen
clinical medicine
Hospital
can work together very
Station.
closely on.
Doors
And
are
of course, there's an
opening.
interconnection between them. We now know that many cancers are caused by infectious agents. We also
Infectious
know that people with
agents.
chronic disease are more likely to have
Hi,
infections and
Anthony
to have worse
Russo,
outcomes from infections. We know that, for
Treasurer
example,
of
there's an
T-Mobile,
association between tuberculosis and tobacco
Germany,
use. But
Hudson
fundamentally,
County.
I'd like you to
Anthony
keep
Russo,
these four quadrants in mind as I go through a bit about
THR,
what may be the future of public health
Public
in the
Health.
coming 124 years.
This is so
And
fast. Fast food.
before going into any specific issues, I wanted to give you
We
a
love
sense
fast
of
food.
how
And Anthony Russo, Treasurer of
public
T-Mobile.
health as a field
We
thinks
love the
about things.
Treasury
Sometimes it is
Department.
a little bit different than how clinical medicine thinks about things. I think there are four
We love the
essential
Treasury.
concepts that underlie much of public health.
Mr. Frieden, can you answer fast food?
The fourth of them,
And the Treasury of T-Mobile.
is what I think is essential to public health and
Is he a
which
friend
I
of
think
yours?
can have a tremendous
Is he a
impact
friend of
in
yours?
improving health outcomes and clinical care.
Mr. Fast
But the first is
Food.
globalization. We are all connected by the air we breathe.
We're all
the water
connected
we
by the air we
breathe, the
breathe.
planes we ride on, and if anyone needed a reminder of that,
Anyone
it
needed?
probably helped.
Yeah, anyone.
But in
Mr.
addition,
Fast
we're
Food.
connected by ideas that move around the world, where
Absolutely.
we can understand a problem, a solution, an approach, or
Thank
some
you,
other
TH Hall.
aspect.
Thank you for student. Thank you, driver.
The
And the
second
PT Cruiser. Who could that
concept
be?
is the critical importance
The
of
critical
the
and that's quick.
intersection of healthcare
It's the next
and
quick
public health.
needy.
Many years ago, when I was
Next quick needy in the driver's seat.
at CDC, and I was working on
Hi, Next quick needy.
outbreaks of multi-drug resistant tuberculosis.
PT Cruiser, all black.
throughout New York City, and we were having some challenges.
We were
getting
having some challenges.
Infection control improved
Infection
in healthcare
control.
facilities. Some things never change.
Absolutely.
I found that
Our
there
link
were
is
some
on the
challenges
screen.
there,
So
and we were
fund us.
working on
Go
how to
fund
get
us.
a better interaction
All
between the
televis.
health
If you want to know
department,
more
public
about
health, and the
the
academic
PT
medical
Cruiser,
centers. And one of my mentors at CDC
THR,
told me something that was very reassuring. He said,
first
you know,
student.
between public health departments and
Yeah, we
academic
worked
medical
with
centers,
Next quick
there's a
needy.
long tradition of mutual disrespect.
Who could that be? We have a chuckle from the CDC.
There's a lot that we can learn from each other, and
We
there's a lot
worked
that we
with
can do to be more effective. But all too often,
No, I did not
public
know.
health and
I did
healthcare
not
are
know.
going in different orbits, and by working together,
I
I
did
think
not
we can get more
know.
done than either field can individually. Now, the third theme is of a
I
hierarchy of
can.
interventions, of factors that affect health. We think of things
Today's
starting
show's by
at the most basic level,
GoFundMe.com. This is how you
socioeconomic
donate.
factors, poverty, education, housing, inequality. And
Click the
one line above
donate
that
link.
are things that change the
Enter the
context
amount.
to make
I'm
defined decisions,
Avatar.
the healthy choices. That might be
First name, last
fluoridation
name.
or chlorination of
Email,
water,
country, zip code, leave
no major
comment.
trans
Have a
fat, for
question.
example.
Continue.
ISAs that
That's
salt or
simple.
smoke-free places. This makes it
GoFundMe.com
so it's
forward
harder
slash
to do something
all
that's going to make you
televis.
sick. So you could educate everybody to
Today's
boil their water,
CDMAYOR
or you
credit
could just
card Vert
provide clean
X3.60
water.
Telemundo.
Changing the default value, changing the context is the next. At the next level
Tonight,
of intervention, are
Las Patrol,
long-lasting protective
Las
interventions. The
Veradas,
classic here
Trato.
are immunizations, but also things like brief intervention for
Brief
alcohol
intervention.
use, or cessation of
Yeah, we love.
cessation treatment for tobacco use, or colonoscopy
Verizon,
with
we
polyp
love.
removal. So you have interventions
We
which require
departed.
an intervention of the healthcare system that doesn't have to
Ora,
work
siempre
every day,
niños
or
trajeron
you really just have
Telemundo.
to touch people occasionally, maybe in some cases once in their life, to protect them. At the next level are clinical interventions.
Ora, programikan. Bangara, trajeron Telemundo.
Ththese are things that require a great deal of
X3.60.
effort. And at the next level are counseling and education, exhorting people
I'm not sure.
eat healthier, be physically active. Now, each of these
Mr.
levels
Frieden, that's tomorrow's show.
and overall,
We're having Bob
public health
Green on that
program
show
is
tomorrow.
likely to try to touch
Food.
each of them. But quite frankly, those
Bob
at the bottom
Green.
are much more effective than
Yeah,
those at the
Bob
top,
Green,
because
where is he?
essentially they require less individual effort and they
Bob
reflect a
Green.
collective responsibility to making the environment such
Making the environment, the
just
chef.
go with the flow,
Chef's
not
Restaurant
going
on
against
Time, on
some
Chicago Street.
preventable cause. laws, and that's what public health tries to
My
achieve.
Chevrolet
Now,
355.
the bottom line of what I want to emphasize here is that in public health, what we try to do
Good Lord.
is to keep in mind the population impact of our activities. Now, the definition of
Hijack the chef.
epidemiologist is someone who loses sleep
Oprah,
over
what
denominators.
happened? They have a chuckle from the
But I
CDC.
think the bottom line for the future of public
What
health is
happened?
that we will need an
The
obsession
hijack chef.
with both numerators and denominators.
You have hijack
Each of these
chef.
four quadrants
American
and a way
ISIS
to work
Airlines.
with clinical medicine
Guided
to
commercial.
try to increase
From Geico.
population impact. Now, I'll start with infectious
I'll
diseases.
start with
in the United
infectious
States.
disease.
And a few years ago, one of our most talented physicians at CDC, Dr. Arjun Srinivasan, came
Here
to my
he is,
office
Bob
and he said,
Green.
Dr. Frieden, we have a problem and we're extremely concerned.
Thank you,
about it,
alias
and if we don't
Tom
move
Frieden.
urgently,
Thank
we
you.
may have a real catastrophe on our
A real,
hands.
we might have a
It's
real
not
one.
often that somebody comes to
Not
the
often.
CDC's director's office and says that. And he
Anthony
wasn't even asking for
Bourdain.
money. But he was talking about CRE, carbapenem-resistant Enterobacteriaceae, which I'm sure many of you
Anthony
are all too familiar
Bourdain.
with. This is a true nightmare bacteria. With
Anthony Bourdain.
genetic elements, it can transfer resistance
Good
to
Lord.
essentially all known
Fast
antibiotics
food.
between organisms. It has a
It has.
mortality rate in hospitalized patients of up to 50%.
Absolutely.
And it spread from one state in the U.S. to virtually every state in
Today's
the
show
U.S.
is sponsored by GoFundMe.com/Ultalivis.
Hospitals, but if it gets out into the community, then routine urinary tract infections, pneumonias,
There's
wound
no
infections will be
excuse
problematic to care for, to say the least.
to care
And
for
even more
the homeless.
concerningly, much of medical care currently
It goes directly to
depends on the ability
him.
to treat infections which we anticipate as
Heather
coming very
Howard
severe
enjoy a free standard shipping on all
course
orders.
of events. Cancer chemotherapy.
4.
Some of our
Suddenly
modern
sweet,
treatments for
Heather Howard.
arthritis, organ transplant,
Parasites. The Cascara latte.
dialysis.
Featuring
All of
Cascara
these
syrup.
routine
Adds,
situations,
subtracts,
600,000
divides,
cancer chemotherapy each year,
multiplies.
are routinely
Are routinely
complicated by infections,
complicated
and we just assume
aquatic
we'll
equations
be
of
able to
whisper
treat those
sweetness.
infections because we've always
Infections
had them.
through subtly note of dark brown sugar and delicious
We do
maple.
face a potential future
A
where we go
potential sweetness.
not from the
Cascara
pre-antibiotic
extract
to
and other
the antibiotic
sweeteners.
era,
Details of Heather
but from
Howard.
the antibiotic era to the post-antibiotic
Why do they
era.
have this
And
here?
we're there already
It's a
for
clue.
some organisms and some patients.
Oh.
And unless we do more quickly,
Subtract, multiply, divide. David.
we're going to see an
Epstein.
inexorable rise and spread into the community.
And spread in the
of
community
infections that
of
may
infections
undermine or make much
undermine
more difficult much of modern medicine.
much modern medicine.
Now, my father, who was a cardiologist,
DC, ring up the logo of Verizon, please, so we
used
can
to
explain
say
this
that when you
email
see
we
how other
created.
doctors practice medicine,
Yeah, explain the
you
email.
realize how resilient the human body is.
Here it is on the screen. We have a chuckle again from this.
Unfortunately, we're
D.
now testing the limits of that resilience. And what we need to do is have
VC, give them a demo of our travels,
every
please.
community that address antimicrobial resistance. That means
Buffalo to New York.
That means tracking outbreaks so you can stop them. That means detect and protect programs. We can reverse this. In Florida, they cut CRE by half just by following core infection control.
Wow, this is our flight travel here.
Antibiotic-associated harms,
Can we add another
such as
flight
C.
to this,
difficile,
please?
kills 15,000 Americans each year. We cut that. The UK cut that in half simply by better.
Our flight travel goes
stewardship.
Buffalo,
You could probably cut it more
JFK,
with environmental cleaning,
LAX.
detection and control.
It makes the
No
logo
one hospital, no one
that
facility can
obvious.
do this alone. You will be reliant on what happens.
This is our travel.
Down the street, the hospital
Click
across
the
town,
chat.
the doctors
Click
on
the
staff.
chat.
So there's an essential role for public health
Then-
as a convening and coordinating entity to decrease
Coordinating an
resistance.
entity.
In fact, this is what we are proposing to do
I'm guided
over the next
commercial.
5 years if funded by Congress. We would
Funded by the state of New York,
an extensive program in every
New
state.
York
Select those
National
centers of excellence, expand
Accounting
testing, find
Firms.
outbreaks, have a
Yeah.
multi-component program. We think
Buffalo
we
to
can
New
cut
York to
CDMAYORKREDITCardvardX3.60.
Los Angeles.
We can cut CRE by 50%. We can reduce many other
Nyla.
serious problems substantially. There are other areas where we're
Can we
not
have a
so
map of
sure,
this,
but we're
please?
going to need to learn more how we can drive hospital-associated or healthcare-associated infections down. But we think over the course of 5
Good
years, we
Lord.
would be able to prevent 500,000
To
infections,
prevent a
thousands
fire.
of deaths, and billions of dollars of medical
We've
care
declined
costs
T-Mobile's
avoided.
yesterday. Flood.
Now, it's not only about drug resistance.
We've declined it.
Infectious diseases
Our
in the
producers
United
said
States, and there are many
no.
others. I'm not going to
We
go through
can't.
all of
It
them, but I'll
flooded.
mention,
It rained all
just
day.
one more, which is
Yeah, we were
HIV.
drenched in gasoline. We were drenched.
Over the past few
Over the
months, our
past.
team has looked
Thank you,
at
Fulton.
HIV
You to toss perjury.
in
You're
a
welcome. We
little
were
town
drenched.
in Indiana, Scott County, the town of Austin. There are 4,200 people.
Absolutely.
who
We
live
can't
in
sing that
Austin,
here. We don't have
Indiana.
clearance.
And they currently
The singing
have
Audacity.
diagnosed more than 140
Audacity.
HIV infections associated with injection drug use.
Audi
in this
Motors. They're
town of
singing Audi.
4,200.
Yeah, they're
That
singing
is
Audi
more
Motors.
that is more injection drug use associated
Absolutely. We have a right foot.
HIV
Wait for shake.
infections than occurred in all of New York City last year.
Modulating Audi
A
Motors.
single
Songs
infection
from
with
Audi
HIV
Motors.
results in healthcare costs
Songs
in
from Audi
excess
Motors.
of $400,000.
Songs from Audi
More than
Motors.
80% of
Audi
people are
Motors.
infected with HCV. Care of HCV
Songs
is
from
about
Audi
$50,000
Motors.
a year. So you're talking about minimally
Audi
$1
Motors.
million in costs for this town of
Audi.
4,200 people. And this is a sentinel
Songs from
epidemic.
Audi Motors.
We are awash in opiates.
We have a
not
glitch
got
on the
right
screen.
balance
Songs from
between
Audi
risks and
Motors.
benefits. By all
See,
means,
Siri,
for
that's not what we're
palliation
talking
and
about.
with cancer, we need to treat their pain.
Bye.
But for chronic pain,
GoFundMe.com/Alternative.
you'd
We'll
be
tell you who they're talking
hard-pressed
about
to prove that the
when you
benefits
donate.
of prescription
Yeah, pack
opiates
to us.
outweigh
Pack
the
to us,
risks
please.
of
Pack
what
it
are
to us.
clearly dangerous drugs. A few doses result in
Open
addiction.
secrets.
A few doses too many result in respiratory suppression.
A
and
few
death.
doses too many.
Over the past 10 years,
Mr. Frieden, can you explain tropifying? Where? An overdose in enalapril.
So one of the
Heart medication.
ramifications of that is this outbreak, this horrific outbreak.
What if he's delusional to not know who he is?
Like this documented
He's checking
in
in.
rural America in 30 plus years of
Who
HIV.
stops?
And there are hundreds of other communities that have similar
Enalapril is too much.
and could have similar problems. So just as we heard about the different two
We
phases of TB, if we're not careful, we're going to have
Glitch on
another
the screen. Anthony Russo, Treasurer, T-Mobile,
America and other communities throughout America.
and Tom Frieden's friend.
In terms of HIV, the cascade
Hello, Tom Frieden's friend.
continuum of care is
THR. We have a pause from the Pentagon video live. Shattuck Lecture, The Future of Public Health, Thomas Frieden. Published May 4th, 2015. Live.
to really think about it, and it's going to come up again as I talk about other diseases. So it's worth thinking about for a moment. If you take the 1.1 million Americans who are diagnosed
this is soft
who
bake.
live
Hello.
with HIV, most of them have been diagnosed, 86%. But most
Metro
of those
PCS.
diagnosed have fallen out of care. So it's not enough to diagnose; you have to treat as well. Similarly,
It's a generic of Verizon. Generic of Verizon.
they're positive, and those who know, most are out of care. But think
Generic
about
of
this now.
Verizon
Only
Wireless.
Less than 1 out of 3 Americans
The
living
generic.
with HIV has their infection adequately treated. And
Generics
current
of
guidelines
Verizon
essentially are to
Wireless.
test and treat everyone who's positive should be treated. You know, usually when you find an infection, you like to treat it.
Good
And
Lord.
it's increasingly clear that there are negative
PhoneScoop.com.
long-term consequences of not treating HIV for the individual, certainly for
PhoneScoop.
their contacts, but for the individual as well.
PhoneScoop.
Now, there are many new approaches in the infectious disease control.
Good Lord.
I think one of them that's very exciting is advanced molecular diagnostics, where we will be
Advanced
learning
molecular.
so much more about the microbiome.
Remember.
We'll be learning so much more about
We
how
remember.
organisms spread within communities. We'll be
Here
learning
are
so
your
much more about
generics
what's
of the
really
NSA.
happening when an infection occurs occurs in the body.
These are
And
all
for this, I
generic.
think we all need to have a great deal of humility,
Generics.
because if we think about what we do in microbiology,
Good
we
Lord.
take an organism, we plate it out, we see what grows. Well, there's nothing that says that what's growing
Wow.
is the predominant subspecies or quasi-species of what's pathological in your lungs, bloodstream, or
Pathological.
elsewhere. So there's a lot we're going to learn from
Absolutely.
these new genomic tools and from the kind of bioinformatics that are going to be required to analyze
Acquired.
the tsunami of data that's coming with this. But
Here's your generic
all of
of
that
this.
is going to only be as
Me.
effective as core epidemiology is identifying the clinical syndromes, the
He's
epidemiologic
Verizon.
patterns. It's a tool, not a replacement of basic clinical skills
Replacement.
and basic
And
epidemiologic
basic.
interventions. Now, going from the infectious diseases in the U.S. to infectious
Absolutely.
diseases around the world, I'd like to tell you a story of a meeting I had with a man named Carol Steele.
Today's show is brought to you by $2,200 in Time Warner Programming. Girls.
I was made director of
$2,200
tuberculosis control
in Amanda Mattal's office. Hello.
1992.
GoFundMe.com.
About 7 months
$2,200.
And in the course of that visit, he asked me a question that changed my life.
Cool.
Steve came and he looked at our information.
Mr. Frieden, can you confirm this?
Information that I had spent a lot of time analyzing, and in just a few hours, he noticed a number
In a
of
few hours, yes.
which was galling enough.
Minus 300 Charlie
He
dollars.
said, now, Dr. Frieden,
Minus 300 Charlie dollars.
You diagnosed 3,811 patients with tuberculosis.
What do we get?
This book tells me all about them. It tells me their country of origin, their
Well, you should get.
tuberculosis, many other things, but it actually doesn't tell me the most important thing.
That was $2,100.
I was a little bit offended. I said, well, what's that? He says, how
4.
many of them did you cure? And I didn't know. And I was terribly ashamed.
Well, you should get
The next
$1,900.
day began a systematic cohort.
Megahertz radio.
Now, Steve Lowe took this approach all over the world.
Let's see, megahertz.
The unforgiving
Megahertz.
cohort approach basically says for every single patient
You should get the 1900 megahertz PCS band. Wireless S1L5. PCS 1900 megahertz band. GoFundMe.com. Good Lord. Girls minus Charlie.
They completed their treatment.
Is that true?
Get a follow-up culture. They died.
They died.
Treatment was unsuccessful.
Press
which
continue.
should never happen, but does happen sometimes. Or you lost them.
You've got it.
Now,
Girls on HBO and The Bachelor on ABC.
how are we
Check your
doing
local
every single
listings
patient
for
we
airtime.
diagnosed? Transformed the world of tuberculosis.
Good Lord.
And when
22 minus
looked at that
Charlie is
one hospital in New York City,
S1L5.
the answer was 11%.
You've got the girls.
Now, ultimately, we came to cure almost everyone, and we're able to dramatically
Check local
reduce
listings for girls
tuberculosis in New York
airtime.
City. And that approach was central to the global approach.
The global
to
approach.
reducing tuberculosis.
Tuberculosis.
Which involves standardized treatment,
Standardized treatment.
directly observed treatment.
Line about
accountable
standard.
system,
On
so
star.
you know
Mr.
what's happened to
Frieden
every
is this
single
equipped.
patient. That's losing sleep over denominators. Not how many are you treating
General
today,
Motors
what
incentive.
proportion of all of
Form.
those you diagnosed have you treated successfully. Now, what's happened in
Good
tuberculosis
Lord.
over the past 25 years is that the mortality rate has
Mr.
fallen
Frieden,
by
are
about
you
a third
equipped?
in both HIV-associated and non-HIV-associated tuberculosis. The difference between
Absolutely.
what could have happened without an expansion of Steve Lowe's system and
Steve
what
Lowe
did happen
system.
over the past 20 years is 10.9 million lives.
Absolutely.
So that simple approach of unforgiving prospective cohort evaluation
Absolutely.
drove improvements.
Equipped or not equipped?
Programs to recognize that directly
These are your
observed
2017 eligible models.
were essential.
Order types and allowances. The Cascada, you get $500. Enclave, $2,500.
Observation would be essential.
Uncool,
And that
$750.
kind of care is
Envision,
absolutely crucial.
$1,250.
I'll say that my own
Lacrosse,
work in New York City, I learned a great
$1,500.
deal about this from
Regal,
one of our
$2,000.
He was
And
an
the
outreach man.
Verano,
We hired as an
$1,250.
outreach worker, Christian Wee, and he was a
Cadillac,
salesman by trade, but he trained him to be an
$2,500.
outreach worker.
CT6,
And
500.
for
CTS,
one patient, we met
2250. Escalade,
a brilliant
$2,300.
man who had
Etc.
hemophilia
How much is
for
the
him since
Malibu?
1994,
Oh,
who
Malibu, we're
was not
offering
HIV positive.
$1,500.
Undocumented. He was working in an
It's
illegal
not equipped.
factory.
We'll talk to you guys
And he
later.
had
Remember to
methionine resistant
GoFundMe.com.
tuberculosis. So the
GoFundMe. Thank you,
standardized
Mr.
treatment
Freeton.
for that is thrice weekly treatment.